Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Relocate with Nat. I hope you are doing well. Just a couple weeks ago, we had our North Coast networking meeting, and I was able to meet lots of new people, including my guest today, Leah. Leah, thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
You know, one of the things that has come up, and I just did a recent video with Rochelle. If you didn't catch that one, go back into the videos and see it. But we talked about working here in the DR. What does that look like? And there's a lot of people that want to come down to the Dominican Republic and continue living. They're not ready to retire yet, or they're not at retirement age. And I think everybody has a unique story, including you, Leah.
Yeah, we so I'm from England originally, and I spent 12 years in Canada making a family and living the dream. And then we just decided one day that we'd had enough of living in the cold because it gets cold there. And
Yeah.
so we bought a boat and we sailed from Florida to the Dominican Republic. We'd never been here before, never ever even thought about it. But by the time we got here, our boat needed repairs, and it happens. And over the course of a couple of weeks, we decided that we actually really like it here, and we like the people and the way that our family was treated. They just love families, and
Yeah.
now we're 3 years later, and
Because
we're
every
still here.
family buys a boat and sails to the Dominican Republic. How long did that decision take to sell, buy, and sail? Like, what was the time span on that?
Well, we had a couple of really quite big life changes, and so we ended up with some of our retirement funds that we'd put to the side came to fruition quite quickly because of COVID. And so we ended up with a chunk of change in our pocket. And we were like, okay. So I guess from like July was when we first decided, and we were on the water by October.
Wow.
And it was
What year? Last year?
it was 3 years ago, so 2020.
Okay. Okay. Wow. That was a short time. We had a short time frame too. We put our house up for sale. We decided January 1st, 2021, and we flew April 1st, 2021.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah,
It's
we did
sometimes
it.
it just happens.
Yeah, and when I tell folks that contact me about relocation, I say everybody's journey is different because not everybody can do the steps at the same pace. There's all kinds of outside factors that will determine what your departure date will be. But this series, I really want to focus on people who are working here or, have a business or are deciding to open a business, because that's was part of the story that when I'm meeting people and starting this North Coast networking group was about bringing business owners together to share what they do, what they love, so that they can connect. And I loved your idea, and I really wanted you to share kind of how it came to fruition.
Well, I have a solid background in education, and we've been throwing a few ideas around. And um, well, what kind of happened between me and my husband was we were looking at a variety of different ways to supplement our income,
Yeah.
and we went down a few avenues, and it never really worked. And then it's like, well, I was talking to my husband about children and entrepreneurship, and then we just decided that, well, maybe we could just start it as an after school program. Maybe that would be something that might be interesting. And so I spoke to a friend of mine who is in the community, and it turns out that it really is something that everybody wants. And so within a very short period of time, I'm talking less than a week, we had 2 venues secured, and now we're coming into 2 weeks out, and I've got 2 classes booked. I'm working on a Saturday one, and they're filling up quick, and it's mind blowing how quickly it's worked.
That's incredible. And I think, so you said you had some other ideas previous and those didn't resonate. So I think some of it is intuitive, right? You has to resonate with who you are and what I call your zone of genius is.
Exactly. And you also have to, you don't know who your market is until they come knocking on your door. And
Yeah.
so when you throw a few ideas out, you've got to be prepared to keep throwing out the ideas and accept the fact that in this country, there's a lot more no than there is yes. But when
Yeah.
it's yes, it's a big yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Because to work in the Dominican Republic, you have to have a residency. So if
Yes.
that's a road that people choose to go down, then they're fine. But if you choose not to have residency, then you have to be a little bit more, what I would say is creative, right? In what you choose to do. So what is the program about, and what are the kids going to be learning?
Okay, so the program is about entrepreneurship in youth, and what we're going to be doing is basically going from a blank piece of paper, and then 8 weeks later they're going to present products that they have either sourced and rebranded or created from scratch, marketed, and developed the idea, worked on a budget, like every single step that it takes to get this product to market. And then we'll be presenting the products, whether it's one product for the group or whether it's individual products for each of them. They will then bring it to the market, physical market, where they will sell the products to real people. There'll be
Nice.
an element in there where they will have to have a discussion with the market owners. So they have to negotiate the terms. They have to understand how that goes. And basically taking the lid off a small business and letting the kids see all of the guts and gore inside. And they're going to experience the highs and the lows. There's going to be products that fail because that's what happens.
I
There's going to
like
be
that, the
products
guts and the gore.
well, it's true. I'm not going to be selling the kids on, oh my goodness, you're going to be millionaires by the end of this. It's like, you got to work on this and learn that this product might not be the one that makes it. And,
Yeah.
if it doesn't make it, you've learned from that. Now, what else can you do? Was it the color that didn't work? Was it the fact that they didn't like it in peppermint? Like, what is it that didn't work? Learn from it and go again. And so working on the failures, because so often the children are taught that failure is exactly that, failure. Well, you should keep going. Like, that failure is a learning point. And that's what
Absolutely.
children, also a whole bunch of other life skills, like communication with each other, working as a team, money, like actual money, day-to-day money. What does the budget really look like?
Yeah.
And, can you make this work? Okay, so it's going to cost $500 to make this. Where are you going to get the money from? How are we going to help you develop this idea further? Do you need to take out a small business loan? Like, how do we move this forward so that it's not the end?
Yeah.
And then at the end, they'll stand in their little booth that they will have marketed and put forward, and hopefully everyone comes and supports them.
And would you agree? I mean, my experience in education is that I go back into schools and I teach the Teen Talk program, and I find there's just not enough of this available to students. This idea of entrepreneurship, business, finances, like these are what I guess we call those essential life skills. And I feel like there's so many missing out.
Oh, 100%. Anywhere in the world right now, you walk into a school and you say to a kid, do you want to be an entrepreneur? And they look at you like we would have looked at adults when we were kids, who were like, have you got a stock investment portfolio? Do you know what an investment portfolio looks like? And you're like, huh, what? No. And it's like, yes, these children need to learn about these things that can make them money.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely.
right now, people are trying to sell kids on entrepreneurship, and they're selling it as the side hustle. If you're in a full-time job where you're working 40 hours a week and you're not getting paid enough to live, then you need to do something else, and you need to learn more skills. And so I think with this program, after the first couple of courses, I think I'm going to try and put it out there to adults too, because everyone needs to be able to do this stuff.
Well, I think some of it is that the evolution of education. I know that when I went to school, this wasn't even language that we used, entrepreneurship, starting a business, anything. So when it was suggested to me about starting my own business back in 2014, I guess, I looked at the person, I thought, what are you talking about? All I knew was that 9 to 5, right? That whole thing was you get a job, but I knew I wasn't happy in the jobs I had. That was the thing I knew, because I worked on cruise ships for many years. So I traveled the world, and it was like a different game every day. Like there was just so much going on. And when I got into that day-to-day routine, I was sad. I don't want to say depressed, but I wasn't happy. And I would change jobs, and my dad would say, but you have a job. said, I know, but I'm not happy. And he'd say,
Right.
well, so what's your point, you know? And I much prefer this world that I live in now, which is not as stable as it would be if it was in the 9 to 5, granted. But I get to do what I love. I get to inspire people. I get to motivate people. And that brings me much more joy than a 9 to 5 would.
I think a lot of people as well, they've forgotten what joy and happiness feels like.
Mm,
In the last
yeah,
couple of years, the world's been really cruel the last couple of years. And so
yeah,
when you go to work and you get your paycheck and then, you've been paid, you're not allowed to grumble. And it's like, well, you do deserve to be happy. You're not here long.
yeah,
Like, you're really not here that long. The average person has 73 summers to enjoy. And if that's the only enjoyment you have in your life, then that's terrible.
yeah. That's short.
Like,
It's very
you
short.
you should be enjoying all of it. And not to say that there aren't trials and tribulations, but I mean, if you're going to go through a hardship, you should at least be able to stand on the other side and be like, oh, I made it, and look how happy I am.
Yeah. No regrets, right?
No regrets, none at all.
Yeah.
And if you're
So
regretting something, then do something else.
exactly. So if you have any, really solid advice to give anybody who's watching this and thinking, okay, I want to move, I'm going to contact Natalie to help me, but they're looking at entrepreneurship or they're thinking like, I have this idea, what, can I make it? What would you say to them?
Do it 100%.
Yeah.
Every time. Every
Ooh,
single time.
You give me shivers.
If you've got a little tingle in your tummy, that's the time to do it. Throw it out there. Because what's the worst that can happen? I mean, go for a coffee with your best friend. Sit down and be like, I've got this idea. And if she is your best friend and she is the person that you deserve in your life, and you throw the idea out, and it's a good one, because it probably will be, she'll go, oh, that's good. I've got a tingle. Oh, I've got a tingle. Let's do it. How can I help? And if she doesn't respond like that, it's either a really crap idea or it's a really crap friend. So either way, you would have learned something.
Oh my gosh, that is so good. Did you get the tingle? Okay, so if moms and dads want to know about this program, what is the title of the program again?
It's called Maker's Market.
Makers Market. So if they want to know more about Makers Market, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
I'm guessing you could put a link to me down there somewhere.
I'm gonna put it all in the description, but tell them anyways.
Okay, so it's being held this semester. We are in Isla Academy and also the European School, and we're doing Mondays and Wednesdays in Isla and Tuesdays and Thursdays in the European School. Currently working on a Saturday program. We're going to be going head to head. Everyone's going to be battling for the prize at the end, because I will be giving out prizes because it's more fun. But we're going to put Isla and the European School head to head with each other, get a bit of competition going, and then you can come and see us in a couple of months at, fingers crossed, Seahorse Market. If you're watching, Seahorse people, we love you. Please help us, please.
So you're talking about Isla Academy, right?
Yes.
Isla.
Oh, sorry, mispronounced. Apologies. It's English.
That's okay, just so that people know, because if they're wondering what Isla is, they're going to be like, who's that? Isla Academy.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Isla.
that's okay. It's all good. And Seahorse, well, we know the owners, so it's okay.
Okay, perfect.
We'll figure it out.
The children will have to come and reach out to you. It won't be me.
Absolutely. I love it. Folks, if you are looking to, amp up your kids' experience as entrepreneurs, please make sure you connect with Leah. All her contact information will be in the description. Leah, thanks so much for doing this with me.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's an absolute pleasure.
I'm so excited. I got shivers. I got the tingles. Whatever you choose to do, have an incredible day, and we'll see you soon in a new episode. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye, Leah.